What's going on, Gorilla fam? It's Julian back again on a Monday for a very, very quick, delicious, and easy meal. We're gonna talk stir fry today. So I'm gonna point it at the board and I'm gonna show you guys what exactly we got on our little menu. So we got ginger. I'll show you how to take care of that in a minute. And we've got a carrot that I peeled. What's going on, Stella? We're talking pork and veggie stir fry. We've got a Fresno chili we're gonna use. We've got some green beans, some bean sprouts, red pepper, some garlic, some sesame seeds, some baby corn, and one of my favorite ingredients in the kitchen, green onion. We've also got a mixture back here. It's about a tablespoon of each of hoisin oyster sauce. Think of like a Asian style barbecue sauce as far as mouthfeel, texture, and taste goes. A little bit of sesame seed oil. A little goes a long way, so it's only about a teaspoon's worth of sesame seed oil. And then a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. What's going on, Jeff? Stella, Jeff, what are you guys eating for dinner tonight? So we're gonna do something a little different. I didn't prep really anything other than putting the sauce, a little marinade mixture, whatever you want to call it, in. And this is some of our pork shoulder. Today's episode, Wednesday's episode, is probably gonna be pork because I did 10 pounds worth of pork butt. And it wasn't ready to be eaten yesterday at Mother's Day. So now I have 10 pounds of pork butt to divide between 3 people for the next couple days. So we're gonna start with our garlic, right? So we've got our mandolin here. Very, very nice product, very, very dangerous product when you do not use it properly. Now I've told you guys how to use it before. You can use a guard if you want, but this garlic is so small that we really don't need a guard. As long as you're paying attention and go as slow as you can. What's up, Shelly? What are you guys eating for dinner tonight? As long as you go slow enough, you really don't have to worry about, you know, a guard or anything like that. So I'm gonna make these thick because I'm gonna use a couple of them for presentation. Now I never go fast with this thing at all. These things scare the living hell out of me. Seen quite a few people's lose some fingertips and some finger pads. So I go as slow or as fast as I need to. And that's about as slow as fast as I'm gonna go, right? So we gotta use this. Let's go ahead and put that big ass red pepper in that big bowl. And we'll use our garlic in this little one. So we'll put that back there. So we've got our, let me actually, toast. Man, eat something like this, it's super simple, right? So we got our baby corn. We're gonna just take and cut down the middle. Lengthwise, or hot dog. If you guys grew up in the 90s, everything was cut it like a hot dog, fold it like a hot dog, cut it like a hamburger, fold it like a hamburger. And that's our baby corn. Delicious piece of vegetable right there. Now we got our green beans. They've been topped and tailed, which just essentially means that both ends have been picked off. Right. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna do a little fancy cut. We're gonna cut them lengthwise like that. Cut them in a little angle, you know. And that's our green beans. We're actually going to take these and we're going to blanch them, which means we're just going to drop them in hot salted water for about a minute. We're going to do the same thing with our bean sprouts. We'll effectively cook them. With the carrots, usually people will dice. They will take carrots and they will, you know, cube them up, dice them up, julienne them up. I'm just going to do a little peeler. We're gonna do strips. I think it's prettier and you get so much more. Plus you're not gonna be biting into a super, super hard carrot. You can actually salt these carrots, just like a little bit of salt. Just sprinkle a little bit of salt on them, maybe like 2 teaspoons worth. We'll put that off to the side and we'll use that later. So you got some nice carrot peels. Plus it's really pretty looking too once everything starts coming together. Now you've got 2 pieces to these green onions. As you can start to see, this is where the tops were, right? So as you get further down, you've got your root base here that I've already cut off. These are outstanding for using in soups, stir fries like we're going to. And they don't really get that really pretty presentation. That's what we're going to use here. We'll actually take this and we'll cut it at an angle so everything is even. And then what we'll do with this will be our presentation. So like I said, we got it in an angle, and then we're just gonna rock our knife back and forth at a nice little bias. And you can go at a steeper bias, right? Which just means at a greater angle. And the object is to go as thin as possible. The sharper your knife, the easier it is, right? So we'll actually take these pieces that are right here and we'll actually save them, right? And this is what you're looking for, you know? This is what most people will do right here, you know? Maybe a little bit of a bias. This is really, especially when you start presenting, this is what you're really looking for. You're looking for a thin, on the cut, on the bias cut when you want to present some of this stuff, right? So we'll take these off the side, we'll get rid of those, get rid of that piece, we'll pop that back in here, and we'll actually separate this, because I'll actually throw the non-sharp bias pieces in and use that. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the pieces that were the white of the green onion. They're closer to the root, right? So we're going to just take these, same thing with the carrots, split them down the middle, right? So go as slow or as fast as you need. These things are a little wonky, so you know, you kind of got to go with the rotation of the onion, right? And we'll actually throw these in like this, and that'll be another one of our bases, right? So we've got that. I'm going to show you guys how to really mess with a piece of ginger, right? Ginger's fantastic. Goes great in teas, especially if you got a sore throat, if you're feeling like crap. You know, nice tea, lemon, honey, and ginger. Outstanding. It helps your throat, helps out everything. Now you can use a peeler if you like I did on the carrot that I just showed you. But a spoon really works just as good if you don't have a peeler. These peelers are outstanding, like $9.99 for a 3-pack on Amazon. Just type in like Swiss or German plastic peeler, and you get a pack of 3 of them. They're red, green, and yellow, orangish color. All right. So just take the spoon and just slide it down. What I like the spoon for ginger better is because ginger has these knots on it. These things pop off really easily, and it's hard to get that angle back that really works. So I like using the spoon because it's a little bit more sturdier. Doesn't have any give like that plastic thing, because like I said, there's like these little knots on these things. They shoot out and they sprout out all over the place. And you can just take it, like I said, take it and pull it down. Get all that stuff off there. You don't want any of that on there. Now, if you're making a soup or a stock, you could probably leave it on there. Just wash it really good, because, like I said, it's a ginger root, so it does grow in the ground. So it's very, you know, dirty, fibrous type of thing. So just make sure you clean it off really good. No dirt. You don't want any flavor crystals going in your dish. Let me get rid of that spoon. Right? So what I like doing with ginger, let me get rid of that piece that's a little old. I like doing with ginger is I like taking slices, right? Pop that over the side, because this is a very strong plant, so we don't need too much of it, right? But so thin slices, and I come back the other way and slice it again. So there's more unpleasant things that you could eat other than ginger if you got a big piece of it, but either way, I still don't like getting, you know, a huge piece of that ginger in there, right? And that's pretty good for what I want it for, right? So let me get my other little bowl here. It's not so much little as it is big, but it'll be just fine, right? Now with our green beans and our bean sprouts, like I said, we are going to be blanching them, which just means it's going to hang out in some salty water for just a little bit. Now this is a red chili. It's sometimes referred to as a Fresno. You know, very spicy. I mean, if you're not used to spice, they're very spicy. I've been eating hot food for a very long time. I like hot food, but I like hot food that's hot for a reason and not just stuff that blows, you know, your palate out. So I like spice in my food, but it's got to be done right. There's no sense in getting a nuclear hot sauce wing just to get punched in the mouth and then punched in the gut later. You know, what you eat hot is twice as hot when it comes out, whatever way it comes out. So just remember that when you're eating spicy food. And also, just like the ginger, you don't want a shit ton of big old pieces in there, right? You want everything to be bite-sized. And this is what we're going to be using when we start building that base, when we start layering our flavor, right? And ideally, you know, you'd want to use this cutting board for your spicy stuff or your pungent stuff like your garlic or, you know, your onions, stuff that leaves a residual smell, taste, oil. You know, you really want to save that for the end, but there's not that much on there, so it'll be all right. But just as a next time if you do this type of thing, right? So we're going to take our red pepper, right? Same thing, we're going to take the top and the bottom off. Now I always use these. If you cut it close enough to that seed pocket in there, that seed base, that seed cluster, you can actually pop this thing right out, right? So it takes some time getting used to. Save those because you can use them. I do for soups and stocks. But it also, when you cut it like this, you've got an easy access to see where you got to cut to get this vein out. Now, I usually don't do it this way. I usually take it, and as I'm rolling, I'm cutting. That's how I usually like to take and get rid of my insides, but I'll show you two different ways. Try them both, see which one you like better. Now with these veins, if you've ever eaten a bell pepper and you get this, not dirty is not the right word, an unpleasant taste in your mouth. They generally expect, you get them a lot with green peppers. The brighter the colors, like the red and the yellows, they've been allowed to ripen longer, so they're a little bit sweeter, and that really, the only thing I can really say is like just a dirty or off-putting flavor of a green pepper. You got the green pepper flavor, and then you've got this aftertaste. I'm gonna show you how to get rid of that. It's not so prevalent in reds as it is as greens, but nonetheless, it makes it for a more pleasant, you know, dining experience. I always take my knife, keep it flat. And I tried doing it. Usually I would just take it, my hand, put it right on top, but I want to show you guys what I'm doing. So we just kept the knife flat with the pepper and then sawed back and forth. Really helps if your knife's sharp. Always hit it to a steel right before. If that noise makes you queasy, I'm sorry. Just stealing the blade. This is a ceramic steel, about 45 bucks, but it's an outstanding tool. I like them better than the standard, you know, metal tools. It takes all those burrs out, and it takes your blade and curves it back over. It helps straighten it out. It helps keep your blade sharper for longer. It's a great investment. You know, as long as you don't drop it, it'll be fine, because like I said, these ceramic steels, they're ceramic, so I'm going to shatter if they fall. But like I said, they're great tools, and they're pretty versatile with almost every knife. You know, there's some knives like this Nakiri that I use. You're not supposed to seal it. You're actually supposed to take it to a whetstone each time you use it. But ceramic steels kind of lets you circumvent taking it to a stone every time. Right, so the same thing that I did with the red peppers, we're going to do, but we're going to leave them a little bit bigger. So I'm going to box this off just so I've got a square, you know, piece of vegetable to work with. Right? So that's all we're really looking for. Right? Julienne on the thicker side. Right? Do the same thing with this one. I'm only going to be making this one dish. We had a late lunch, but I've got a son here that is a growing boy. Just got done with karate, so he's always hungry. Eating me out of a damn house and home 90% of the time. So I'll keep that one off to the side. Like I said, that's all you're really looking for. You can go thinner than that if you'd like, but I like, you know, a nice red pepper, especially when we're doing a stir fry with all these vegetables. So let me go ahead and take you guys over here, because we pretty much cut and shredded and peeled everything we really need to do today. So the next step in all of this is getting our rest of our mise en place done. Right? So we've got a salted pot of water back here going. Now blanching does two things. It helps you pre-cook most of your stuff. Now with green beans, especially when I stir fry, I like a little bit of a crunch. So we're not going to go super, super long. So it's only going to be maybe 30 to 45 seconds worth. Now usually when you blanch something, you would take this out instantly when it's done and put it in ice water. I don't really have a need for it because I'm going to use it. And the reason you put it in ice water is because it's shocking it. So it's going to save this color. Usually when you cook the hell out of a green bean, it has this tendency to turn a very brown, muted, just ugly color, right? It takes the whole point of having a green bean away, and it just turns it to a brown bean, you know. But we don't really need to shock it for what we're going to do it for, because like I said, it's going to go back into a stir fry. So it's going to be used almost instantly. So we don't have to worry about that. And like I said, that's that pulled pork. It was just brined, and then I rubbed it with a little bit of mustard, yellow mustard. And all I did with that, like I said, was smoked it. Went for about 10 and a half, 11 hours, I think, yesterday. By the time I pulled it off, you know, you're usually shooting for, you know, roughly 2.5 hours a pound, depending on how low you want to go. Lower's not always better, you know. I should have probably did it about 275. There's a few different processes out there. There's a chef named Aaron Franklin. He generally goes a lot higher than what I go to, and he's got a very, very successful restaurant. Now you can see how greener those look, and it's not just because it's sitting in a green bowl. Well, like I said, when you shock something, it starts to cook it, but it also brings all that color up to the front. We've also got our bean sprouts, right? And usually you don't have to do this as long as you rinse them. You can throw them right in the pot, but like I said, I like to just get them just a little bit, and they don't take long. These things go super, super quick. These are outstanding, delicious little snacks as well. I like putting these in my stir fries. Anything when I ever have a, you know, a little Asian kick or an Asian feel to food, I like trying to incorporate my, you know, green onions for sure, but bean sprouts, 100%. I like having them in there. All right, now I'll be right back there in just a second, just setting up my little presentation bowl so that way you guys get a picture of what we're doing. And we also have some little black and white sesame seeds that we'll use to finish our product with, right? Presentation, like I've told you guys before, you eat with your eyes way before you eat with your mouth. You eat with your nose way before you eat with your mouth, right? So we're going to start this off like we do with most things. However, since I am doing some of this, I'm gonna fry some garlic in my fryer, sorry about that, over here, because I like that, you know, brown garlic. Like I said, for soups and stocks, if you let it go too much further past a light, you know, a light color, it gets bitter. So your sauce kind of turns out bitter, your gravies kind of turn out bitter. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna fry these in my fryer. I'm gonna take them out, and they're outstanding when you mix them to kind of counteract, sorry, had a stroke, counteract those flavors, right? So we're gonna have that sweet from that hoisin. We're gonna have a little bit of that sour, you know, bitter from the acidity and the rice wine vinegar. It's a sweeter vinegar, so it's not gonna be a super punch like a white vinegar would be, or a red vinegar. It's not going to have that, you know, real big punch, but it will have, you know, some acidity to it. So we're going to heat that fryer up some, and we'll take that, like I said, we'll take those and we'll drop them in there. So let's go ahead and start toasting our garlic in our pan. Right? So usually I would probably use bacon grease in this, but I don't want to muddy the flavors. I want a real nice, clean, light dinner tonight, you know. We busted our ass all weekend. You know, wife just went back to work today for the first time in like 6 weeks, I think. So still got them on half time. I'm still here, you know, cooking, which is fun. It's always fun cooking and entertaining people. I can't wait to start doing it on a bigger stage. Hopefully getting back into the restaurant when everything starts to go back to some semblance of normalcy. But for right now, this is what I got. And like I said, this is a lot more fun. I like this a little bit better than, you know, getting told how to cook, how long to cook something, you know, shit like that. So I like to break up the monotony. And we've also got some unsalted butter over here that we're going to use to really bring everything together at the end. Now, excuse me, that's not the Rona. So, just a little tickle in the back there. All right. I'm going to bring, see that piece of garlic right there? It's about the color you're looking for right when you starting to add your ingredients. Usually I would add onions to this. However, I've got green onions, so that's what we're going to use. So we'll go green onions in. And all of this is going to go really, really quick. Right. Start with the vegetables that are a little bit, tougher, a little bit more body to them. Right. So I'm just going to let it a little bit of color on these, and then I'll add the corn, because the corn don't take long. It's already starting to smell great. Throw a little bit of our red pepper flake in there. We'll also throw a little bit of our Fresno or red chili in there for a little bit of spice. And we've also got our ginger that we just did a little rough chop on, nothing perfect. But this is a very, very rustic kind of dish to it. And like I told you guys last week, rustic just means when you see that on the menu, generally either somebody messed up or they didn't want to spend too much time into very, little itty bitty details like a brunoise or something to that nature. So we generally just rough chop it and go from there. But like I said, it worked out just fine. And we'll throw these baby corns in there. While we do that, we're also going to take our pork. All right, and I like to leave a lot of fat on this pork because that fat's going to render down once it starts cooking. All right. So we don't have to really worry about that. And like I said, this is just a tablespoon of hoisin, a tablespoon of our oyster sauce, and a teaspoon's worth of sesame oil, and that's pretty much it for that. I'm just off back here. I'm going to cut a little bit more of these green onions because, like I said, I like green onion. I love this vegetable. My grandpa, would eat the hell out of this growing up, and we would take it, and he'd put just a little bit of salt, pepper, and oil. And then what he would do is he would actually take it and throw it on the grill for just a few seconds, right? And just really bring out the flavor in that. Get a little char on it, and it's outstanding. So just cutting a little bit more, like I said, I like that flavor. I like that vegetable. Go ahead and toss that just a little bit. And our pork's starting to heat up. So let's go ahead. Like I said, we'll add that. And like I said, it's tablespoon hoisin, tablespoon of oyster, a teaspoon of sesame oil, a teaspoon of soy, a teaspoon of rice wine vinegar. Right? Smells outstanding already. Right? Almost lost that little green onion there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our spoon. You're going to grab a little bit of this butter, about a tablespoon and a half. Hell, it's Monday. Let's live a little, guys. Right? We're going to kill the heat because this is pretty much done. Right? Now we're just going to mix that butter around and around and around. So everything coated very nicely into a nice little pan sauce. Right? So this is where we're going to add a little bit of salt. Not much because we got that soy sauce in there. This pork was already seasoned. A little bit of pepper. Now usually I would use white pepper for this one, but I like the taste of black pepper. I like that little punch that accompanies that red pepper flake that we threw in there and that red chili that we threw in there. And let me show you just how easy plating this is. You guys are gonna be astounded when I show you. Now usually most people wouldn't break out a nice little pretty decorative cutting board for a stir fry, especially how easy this is. You ready for this? Watch. We take it and we scoot it off. Just like that. And let's hit it with a little bit, a little bit of that black and white sesame seed, just to add a little bit of color. Like I said, what do you guys eat with first? You eat with your eyes. Now I do have the comments minimized because I wanted you guys to see this, and it's a lot easier for me to see what you guys see when I don't have the comments. Right? But don't worry, I always go back and answer them. Almost. That one's ugly as hell. We're going for perfection on this Monday meal, ladies and gentlemen. Now you can eat this with rice. You can eat this with rice noodles. You can eat it with buckwheat noodles. You can eat it with anything you want to. You put this shit over butter noodles if you like. You know? It doesn't have to be how I did it. You can do it how you like it. Right? But look how easy and simple that really was. All that really did, with the exception, they messed with my tripod last week and now nothing's working right. So now I got to go back and tighten some stuff up. Everything with the exception of that pork you saw me cut here. It took us 20 minutes maybe, and that's just with me rambling on and talking and all this other stuff. So you guys can do this too. It's very, very easy. You know, like I said, all I did was take that pork butt, brined it for 2 days, popped it on the smoker for about 10 hours, roughly, probably a little bit more, and then let it rest. Then let it rest for a couple hours, and then I peeled it, or pulled it apart, I'm sorry. And that's pretty much it as far as the meat component goes in that. Everything else, bought this morning, cut here in 5 minutes. So it's easy, especially on Monday. I want to make Monday meals easier for you guys. And if you don't want to go out and try this, try it with chicken. Chicken is outstanding. Try it with steak. I've done it with steak. Do it with any kind of protein you want. You like tofu? Throw tofu in there. I particularly don't like tofu, but that's just me. So I don't want to get any of these vegan people, anything like that upset. So just try it with whatever you want. Play with it. Pork, chicken, fish, shrimp, steak, crab, lobster. Do it with anything you want to. That's pretty much been it. I can't let my kid eat this just yet because you would get a reaction from it, but I want him to taste it with all of the components. So I'm gonna fry up some garlic real quick, since my fryer should be about as up to temperature as I need it to be for this. It doesn't take long, about 30-45 seconds in a deep fryer. I can already start to hear it bristle. So a couple things. Yesterday I got to cook with my mom, and not really cook. It was kind of, it was cooked. We put some stuff on the stove. Moved it around, created some heat, created some dishes. So yeah, it was cooking. We made banana pudding. One of my favorite things to eat ever. Favorite desserts. One of them is top 3 for sure. Because I'm just a fat kid. I love eating desserts, especially southern desserts like that. And pineapple upside down cake. Man, Mondays seem to be fucking tongue twister Mondays for some reason, right? Go ahead and check that video. And I'm thinking about having her on once a week, probably on Sundays. I'll get her over here for a couple hours because she lives right down the street from me now, because she moved back down from West Virginia. So I think I'm gonna get her on here at least once a week, because I really miss, cooking with my mom. If it wasn't for her, I should have said all this stuff yesterday. I told it to her offline, because I wanted that moment to be, between me and her. But without her, I would not be here, both physically and literally would not be here cooking if it wasn't for her and my granny. Very important lady when it comes to just how I was raised, how I was brought up with food, and what I was shown. She never tried to put out any desire. If anything, she always pushed and pushed and pushed, and that's what real moms and real parents and real dads do. I can't thank her enough for it. So I think I'm gonna have once a week, bring her on. We'll do something, whether it be small or big. Plus, I just like cooking with my mom, and we don't get to do it as much, and you're never here for super long, so you might as well do it while you can. So that's what we're gonna start doing once a week. Just gotta talk her into it, which shouldn't be too hard. I got the grandkid, come on over, hang out with your grandkid. Oh, while you're here, let's make a video real quick, just something for me to hold on to, you guys to experience, how fun it is cooking with somebody that you love. Maybe one day, I don't know if she's watching, I know Furman is, the other Katie, the number 2 Katie. Actually, I think my wife's sleeping. Yeah, she's in there sleeping. She had a rough day today. What's going on, Alex? So yeah, we're gonna get my mom on here once a week like we did last time. Go and check out the blog. I spent I forgot what time it was really. Saturday I woke up at around 6:30 in the morning. I didn't go to bed until yesterday, like 10:30 at night. So yeah, man, it was crazy. Long day. I just kept going. And you know, I wrote a whole bunch of blogs, put a whole bunch of recipes up there for you guys to try. Man, my garlic is perfect. Right? Put a whole bunch of blogs up there for you guys to like and see and share with your friends. Subscribe to it. That's how we get bigger. Like I said, all this stuff comes out of my pocket right now. There's no money from anybody outsourcing, anything like that. All of it's coming from me, which I love because I'm going to cook this food regardless if I shoot a video or if I don't shoot a video. Guarantee you, 6 out of 7 days, we are eating outstanding food. I might just, you know, screw off for one day and, you know, go get fast food, go order from a restaurant. Especially now, especially these local places, they need our help. Now, I know money's tight with everybody, but if you guys can support a local restaurant, not your local Chili's, not your local Applebee's, not your local Outback, a local restaurant, please support them. You know, we're open to very, very little capacity right now. A lot of us day shift people, we're still out of work. And if anything, the restaurant industry is hurting so much right now. Everybody's hurting so much right now because of this bullshit thing that's going on. I don't even want to say it because every time I turn on the news, every time I turn on Facebook, it's something that starts with a C. Fuck this shit, right? So please support a local restaurant. There's so many good ones. Winter Park, DeLand. I don't know about DeBerry because I never really go to DeBerry. If you're in DeBerry, maybe you guys can tell me about a good restaurant. Fire at the Bayou in Orange City has an outstanding rum cake. I don't drink. I'm pretty sure I got tipsy off their rum cake. Fucking delicious. That's only 2 F words today. It's probably the last 2 I'll say today. Who knows? It's Monday. Outstanding rum, raisin, bread, pudding, cake, whatever they want to call it. Delicious. Try it out. I'm only up to 2. I think I'm up to like 3, now 4 shits. But it is what it is. It's me, right? Like I said, used to be a sailor. I got a mouth like most sailors do. They're just like this food, right? Just like these enhance this. My vocabulary and language, enhance my colorful personality, right? So it is what it is. But like I said, got a blog up, please go and subscribe it, please share it. I can't do any of this stuff without you guys. You guys come in here and leave some comments, you tell me how you're doing, you tell me what you're cooking. We joke around, we screw around, and I show you guys how to make good food, and I show you how easy it is to make food. The next thing, shirts are getting ready to come back. Come back, shirts. They're allowed to open up, so they're going to start opening back up the place that I'm getting my shirts done. So the people that I took down your sizes, I will be getting with you within the next week to let you know when I'm shipping them and when I need the money for your orders, because everything is bought already through me. I was just waiting on them to open back up and then make sure I can get my stuff. With that being said, if you guys want a shirt and I didn't reach out to you, I will be doing a second wave, and I'm going to try to have them where I have, 4 or 5 of, normal sizes, like mediums or probably just larges, extra larges, because they're 100% cotton, they will shrink, so they'll probably go down a size. But I'm going to try to have them, for you guys within the next 2 weeks. I'm hoping to have you guys' shirts to you. Within the next week, I should have the order. I hope, as long as everything keeps going as smoothly as it can. The place is bogged down with a bunch of shirt orders, so I'm really working with them to get my shirts, and then we'll go from there. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for stopping by. Like I said, like us on Instagram, like me on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, but I don't know how to use Twitter. I'm not tech savvy at all. I cook for a living. I don't mess with computers, so I know it's easy. My kid can probably figure it out in 5 minutes like that. I usually, whenever I can't get something with my phone, I just hand it to him. I feel like my parent, my mom, because I only got one parent. Man, that's a great idea. It's just trying to find somebody to mass produce or, produce low is kind of like what I'm running into, because it's more expensive the less you do. Now, if I had a huge market for logos, like I would buy a couple for me because I usually wear bandanas. My hair is pretty long. Try to keep it tucked in. I would wear it. I mean, I wear my shirt. Yeah, Twitter is overrated. I wear my shirt out in public all the time. People love the shirt, so that's what I want to bring in, so like I said, like us on Instagram, like me on Facebook, share this video, share the photo that I'm going to show you, subscribe to the blog, share the blog, do whatever you can. I try to get on here with as much energy as possible, and I really want you guys to to come along with this ride. I can't do it without you. Thank you again for, spending the last, my clock's still wrong when the power went on. It's 9:37 somewhere, I guess. So I don't know how long we've been going. Let me see if I can actually touch and tap it. Nope, don't want to screw anything up. So that's about where I'm going to end it. Thank you again. Make sure you like, subscribe. I can't talk today. I'm trying to combine a whole bunch of words into one to shorten it, to make it more efficient, but it's not going to work. So let me just slow down. Like, share, subscribe, and follow. What's going on, Chris? Happy birthday. Everybody wish Chris a happy birthday today. I served with him on my first command, the USS Emory S. Land out of Bremerton, Washington. Great dude, always treated me the kindest, with most of those people. And by people, I mean, Navy veterans, Marines, Army, Air Force, we're all the same. The higher you get in rank, the more douchey people tend to be. Generally the people that were picked on in school that didn't have any friends. And this guy always treated me with respect, and he didn't have to, and I really appreciate it. He might not remember it, because like I said, I was a little E1 pissant, running around supply. So he always treated me really nice. So please wish him a happy birthday. I see a couple of you guys have already done that. Thank you, I appreciate that. Maybe, Chris, message me after this. Tell me what your favorite dish is. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start picking one person a month. And I'm going to make, you guys tell me your favorite dish or your favorite dessert or your favorite bread, anything. I don't care what it is. It could be Filipino. It could be written in Japanese. I'll figure this shit out. It's 5, Katie. I'll figure it out. And then I'll highlight that dish and I'll make sure to tag you in it. I can probably invite people too, because we're working on a video with one of my friends from across the pond, which means UK. And what we're going to do is he's going to do an American dish and I'm going to do a British dish. And then we're going to have each other on the live video, and then you guys will be, enchiladas are one of my favorite dishes. Tell me what protein you want to see and I'll make sure I make it happen. We're going to turn you around on seafood. I promise you, if you tried it one time, you would fall in love with it. Most people's issues with seafood, mushrooms, stuff that's not normal, I don't want to say normal, stuff that's not average on people's plates growing up, or if it was, I've seen it a lot. A lot of people don't like greens. Greens are outstanding, especially if you do them right. But a lot of people just open a can of greens, dump it in, and think they're a chef. And you don't have to be a chef to make food right. You just got to pay attention, learn, watch TV. That's how I learned growing up as a kid. Emerald was my biggest inspiration, other than my mother and my granny. He was my biggest inspiration. The whole reason I wanted to be a chef was seeing, he was a fucking rock star. That's 3, Katie. He was a rock star for this industry, and he gets, just like Guy, he gets shit on, 6, Katie, quite frequently, and it's unjust and it's not warranted. Without me seeing him, he just captivated me. It was crazy seeing somebody just take something like food. And I've got 10 people watching. This guy had millions of people watching him almost every night on Emerald Live. Really just embedded right here where, it's just insane what you can do with food and food done right. So like I said, Chris's month is this month. Katie, your month is July, because I only remember your month because you're one of those crazy ladies that says, oh, my birthday is on the 27th of July, so my birthday month is coming. You're one of those people. So you're July. August might be me because it is my birthday, but it might also be my sister. I might make her favorite dish because we share the same month birthday. Vamos, or, go away in English. Adios is bye. I'm telling you to go. As my kid, he's over here looking at my, oh man, I was close and I didn't even know the actual birthday, so I was close. He's already smelling the food. Anyways, like I said, like, share, so I almost did it again, subscribe. The blog is up, vanillagorillakitchen.com, or it might just be Vanilla Grill. I'm pretty sure it's vanillagorillakitchen.com. It's on WordPress. All you gotta do is just follow one of the links that I posted yesterday. I'm gonna post this one and the banana pudding one today, hopefully. I got a couple other things going on, but I'm trying to get, at least 1 or 2 days set up where I do nothing but the recipes. It's a lot easier to do them as you go, but just gotten bogged down with so much stuff at home, trying to get a whole bunch of products while I am home with the wife, trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done. You tell me, I make everything from scratch. We'll make tortillas, we'll make sauce. I'm not gonna go out there and buy a chicken and raise them and slaughter them. They tend to frown upon that in the place I'm at now. However, we'll do anything we can do in-house. I'll do in-house and show you guys how easy it is. Tortillas make 10 minutes and you got fresh tortillas. So easy. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, follow, all of the platforms. Mainly Facebook and Instagram is what I'm working on now. We're on Reddit, we're on Pinterest, and by we, I mean Larry is on there helping me because he's easier to frequent those things. He's always on Pinterest. He's always on Reddit doing these whole different things. So we're trying to put the word out there. So like I said, if you guys like what you see, share the photo at the end. Share the one from the Vanilla Gorilla page. That way it gets more exposure and it brings people to the page. Even if you don't want to share it, you don't have to share it. You know, it's 2020. Do you, boo-boo. Hit a like. Hit a love. Hit a emoticon, whatever that thing is, holding, whatever it's holding. I think it's a heart. Hit one of those. Hit a smiley face if I made you laugh. All that stuff gets exposure and puts us back onto us. The last thing, thank you guys for everybody that shared it. The last thing, check out the blog. There's a lot of recipes that I've done over the last 2 months that are actually on there right now. Fantastic recipes. A lot of those dishes, you can get those dishes in a restaurant and pay anywhere from $18 to $25. You know, so make it what you want. You know, I'm trying to put anything I can out there to help you guys to really cook at home. I'm telling you to support local businesses with the restaurants, but also cook at home. Cook around a family top. You know, get everybody around the tables and cook for your family, man. It's fun. It's interesting. I'm going to try to get actually Furman, her daughter. I'm trying to get him and her little daughter on here. We're going to do like a pizza night or something like that, where I'm going to show the kids how to make pizza dough. Well, actually, I'll make pizza dough ahead of time because I like to let my pizza dough sit in the fridge for about 3 days, cold proof. It gets real beer and yeasty. It makes it really, really nice when you let it, you know, raise and proof for an extended period of time. That's just how I like my pizza dough. So I'm going to get him over here and do like a kid-centric episode. That way you guys can, you know, really cook with your kids. You know, my kid's very interested in coming in the kitchen a lot. Makes his own eggs most of the time. He said he didn't like my mom's eggs because she burned them. So he showed her how to cook eggs, I guess. So we're going to do that too, so we can see, you know, get little kids in here so you can get them cooking too, because that's one of those things that I think gets lost in the public education system. You know, we're not showing kids how to, you know, cook, clean, you know, properly at least, you know. Maybe now with, you know, all this bullshit going on, that's 7, Katie, that we'll learn how to clean and wash our hands and wipe our ass. That word don't count, you know, when this is all said and done. But get them in here, man. Get them used to cooking for themselves. Show them how easy it is to cook. You spend 20 bucks fast food, you get one meal. You spend 20 bucks at, you know, a decent grocery store, you got 2 or 3 meals for 4 people. You know, when I was in E1, you know, I would take one whole chicken, I'd break that down, and I'd make 3 separate meals twice a day out of that entire chicken for me and my wife when she was pregnant with my son. We were broke as hell, being an E1 in the Navy, having her, you know, student loan, my car payment, all this other stuff. We were really broke. You know, so just get out there and experiment. Look on YouTube, look on this, find inspiration. You don't have to do it. Admit anything you don't like from this, but I advise you, however I say I've done this dish, try it that way, and then, you know, go from there. Like I said, that's pretty much been it. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, follow. Did it, no tongue twister. Tell your friends, tell your family, you know, and get in the kitchen. Did it that time. Get in the kitchen and cook with somebody. It's fun. This is my dojo. This is, you know, my Zen place. This is where I am very comfortable in, you know. Find that place with your kids. Find that place with your significant other or your parents. Really make it a mission to cook for them. Thank you again for watching. I've already said all the stuff you guys should do with the liking and the sharing and the blah, 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 blah. I'm tired of saying it. I know you guys are tired of hearing it. But go and do that. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I think we're going to do pancit on Wednesday, which is one of my favorite Filipino things to do, eat especially, and make. We're going to do that on, We're going to do that on Wednesday. Check back tomorrow. I'll post a photo. And then I'll see you guys on Wednesday. But stay tuned, because I might jump on here on Tuesday and do a live video. I might jump on here on Thursday. I might jump on every day this week. You never know. So make sure you stay tuned in. Sometime anywhere from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep. It varies. There's an 18 to 20 hour difference in there from when I get up to when I'm sleeping the next time. So you've been warned. I'll see you guys at the latest on Wednesday. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys later.